Story 1. The Attic Room. When I was about 7, my room was on its own floor in our old house. It was more like an attic extension or a large closet, previously used as a playroom. My room had a massive closet door leading to the attic, elevated by wooden stairs, and packed with my childhood toys. Being so isolated from my family scared me, especially with that huge closet in my room. One night, I was lying in bed, terrified after a scary movie, when I heard a toy fall in the closet. I ran to my parents' room, but they assured me no one was in the closet and let me sleep with them. The next night, I heard it again, this time Legos spilling out. My dad was losing patience, but let me sleep in their room again. The following day, my mom and I checked the closet, and there was a pile of Legos on the floor. My mom said they must have just fallen. That night, my dad locked his door, tired of my nonsense. I couldn't sleep, waiting for another sound. About an hour later, the closet door rolled open forcefully. The moonlight illuminated a figure standing by the closet door. I screamed in terror as the figure jumped down and ran out of the house. My parents couldn't catch the man, and the police never found him. Story 2. The Haunted Plantation. In 8th grade, my school trip took us to the Louisiana tour, visiting significant sites in South Louisiana, including Myrtle's Plantation, known as one of the most haunted places in the country. During the tour, as the guide spoke, I started hearing someone hitting a piano key repeatedly. I looked around but saw no piano. My friends didn't hear it, but I did. I noticed a woman who also heard it. She pointed at me and her ear, asking if I heard it too. I nodded. The guide then told a story about a soldier who played the piano and guests reporting hearing him play at night. The woman and I discussed it, confirming we both heard it while others didn't. Though I still don't know what to think, that eerie experience remains with me. Story 3. Provo Canyon. Near Halloween, my friends and I were sharing ghost stories. One friend reluctantly shared a true story about her parents' first date. They had a nice, albeit awkward, first date and decided on a midnight hike up Provo Canyon. Her dad, familiar with the area, felt uneasy as they neared a dark path. Ignoring his feeling, he pressed on until his foot hit something soft in the dark. They decided to turn back. Years later, they watched an interview with Ted Bundy, who described almost being caught after luring a girl to Provo Canyon. They realized they had nearly stumbled upon one of his victims. This revelation left them shaken, a chilling connection to a notorious killer. Story 4. Library Ghost. My school's library is open until 2 a.m., mainly for procrastinators like me. Most books are in the basement area called the stacks. One night, around 11 p.m., I was working on an essay. Only another boy and I were left. I got annoyed by the loud noise of someone flipping book pages. I investigated but found no one. The noise stopped but started again, louder this time. The boy and I searched but found no one. We assumed it was a fan or something and returned to our desks. The noise resumed right next to the boy. He grabbed his stuff and left, and I followed shortly after, never returning to the stacks at night. Story 5. The Night Fisherman. During a 2-day fishing trip in the North Atlantic, my wife and I had an eerie encounter on our boat. After a slow day, we heard a motorboat approaching with no lights on. A man asked for gasoline but claimed to have plenty when offered help. His behavior and blank stare creeped us out. We decided to sail north to avoid him. Later that night, my wife screamed as we woke to find the man standing at the edge of our bed. He fled before I could reach him. We reported the incident, but nothing was ever found. The experience still haunts us. Story 6. The Staring Shadow. In high school, I often felt like someone was staring at me from a dark corner of my room. One night, I saw a hazy outline in the dark corner, but dismissed it as my imagination. The feeling persisted, and I heard a creak, like someone stepping on the floor. The shadow moved to the opposite corner. I hid under my blanket, terrified. The experience was real, and I still get chills thinking about that night. Story 7. The Camping Stranger. My family's first camping trip turned eerie when I was 18. We camped in the woods, away from any sights. At night, I couldn't sleep and saw someone poke their head into our tent. I checked with my parents, but neither had left their tent. Realizing it was a stranger, I couldn't sleep, fearing the worst. The next morning, we left immediately. The incident left us all unnerved. Story 8. The Phantom Painter. On my parents' honeymoon in Key West, they had a strange encounter at their hotel. They requested a room change due to a smoking preference and noticed a painter on their new floor. The painter ignored them, and the smell of paint was overwhelming. They requested another room change. The painter and the smell were gone when they returned. They learned about a painter who died there long ago. This paranormal experience made them rethink their beliefs. Story 9. The Closet Stranger. My cousin Nikki experienced a chilling moment while on Skype with his girlfriend Sam. He noticed her closet door opening, thinking it was her brother. She insisted she was home alone. A figure emerged from the closet and left her room. Nikki urged her to call the police and rushed over. She saw the intruder face to face. Nikki arrived with the police, finding her in shock. Story 10. The Window Rocker. On a stormy night, I enjoyed watching movies alone while my dad worked nights. At 2 a.m., I heard rocks hitting my window. Initially, I ignored it, thinking it was rain. The rocks continued, and I heard a truck engine. I saw a face at the front door's glass window. I called the police, grabbing a knife for protection. The intruder tried to break in, but fled when I announced the police. The truck drove off, and the police couldn't catch them. These stories remind us that the unseen and unexpected can happen at any time. If you enjoyed these chilling tales, make sure to subscribe to Sinisterna for more eerie and spine-tingling stories. Stay vigilant and remember, not all stories are just stories.